Good afternoon, or at least it is after early afternoon as this is being recorded. You all have probably heard that the 7 Bay Area counties, including Marin, issued a new shelter-in-place order on March 31st. The order became effective at midnight on the 31st. As you have also probably heard, the new order extends its duration to May 3rd, 2020, and the county can extend it or rescind it at any time. I want to take this opportunity on behalf of your board of directors and management to thank you for all of your cooperation in complying with the procedures implemented when the first order was issued on March 16th. We have all had to change our lifestyle in significant and sometimes not very enjoyable ways. We are all frustrated and unhappy with the reduction and elimination of services and amenities that we have come to expect and rely on here at Smith Ranch. But I assure you that the changes we have made have been for a single objective, and that objective is to protect all of us in the Smith Ranch Home family from the dangerous virus that has so quickly and dramatically changed our lives. Before going into the contents of the new order, I thought it might be helpful to describe my understanding of the guiding principle that management and the board have followed in deciding what changes in our operations were needed. And that guiding principle is to try to provide a residential life that provides the most protection we can against the virus. And the most important step to achieving that protection is to limit to the maximum extent possible contact with other people. There can be no doubt that the absolute best way to avoid contracting the virus would be to stay in your residence for the duration of the pandemic. That would mean you would let no one into your apartment and you would not go outside your apartment. And we have set up our operations so you can follow that course of action if you choose to do so. We are set up that 2 meals a day during the week and one on the weekend will be delivered to but not through your door. Packages including food, other household supplies ordered from grocery stores, restaurants, and online retailers will also be brought to your doors. And none of our staff will enter your apartment except in emergencies or life safety situations. As we know, the only way this horrible virus is spread is through direct or indirect human contact. And if you or and your spouse and partner do not have any indirect or direct contact with other people, it is very unlikely that you will be infected by this virus. A no entry and no exit policy protects both our residents and our employees and other service providers. We have made the no entry, no exit approach available, but we know that some of our residents will not be able to live such a life and that others will choose not to live such a life. Some of our residents have caregivers, and caregivers must come and go. Other residents will want to have family members or friends come to their apartments. The association does not control who you allow to enter into your residence. It also does not control where you decide to go when you leave your apartment. Under both the new and the old shelter-in-place rules, you can leave your apartment to go to the grocery store, drugstore, and a variety of other places. But whenever you leave your apartment, you do increase the risk of being infected by the virus. There is, of course, a big difference between the degree of risk one assumes when going for a walk on our campus, as compared to leaving the property and going to a grocery store. But that is your choice. All the association can do, and what it is trying to do, is to ensure that, to the extent possible, the source of any infection is not from things that the association can control. So that's the guiding principle that we're following. Let's turn now to the new shelter-in-place order. One of the important things in the new order is that the violation of the order is now not only a threat to public health, but is also a misdemeanor punishable by fine, imprisonment, or both. So now the county has put some real teeth in its ability to enforce the rules. The revised order states that the new order is necessary because the public health emergency has substantially worsened, that's their words, since the first order was issued 2 weeks ago. The order does note that the evidence suggests that the limitations on interactions among people imposed by the first order has slowed the rate of increase of coronavirus. However, the order also states that extending the duration of the order and strengthening its restrictions are necessary to further reduce the spread of the virus. As of today, there were 108 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Marin County and more than 2,600 in the Bay Area. The structure of the order has not changed. Like the first order, the revised order's basic mandate is that all residents must stay in their residence unless they are engaging in an essential activity or working at an essential business. And as before, Smith Ranch Homes is an essential business, so our staff can come to work here. One of the most significant changes in the new order is that it greatly strengthens the social distancing requirements that apply when you leave your residence. The original order said that people should maintain social distancing to the extent reasonably possible. The new order states that people, quote, must strictly comply with the social distancing requirements. And the order now has much more restrictive requirements. Any essential business, and we are one, must adopt what is called a social distancing protocol which governs its operations. Most of those requirements impact our staff more than the residents, and John, Scott, and the other managers are hard at work implementing those requirements. Where the residents will be affected is that Smith Ranch Homes is required to maintain the 6-foot spacing throughout the common areas. So sofas will be removed and chairs in lobbies and other places will be rearranged so that people will not be able to get closer than 6 feet together. You may also see tape on the floor to help people to comply with the 6-foot requirement. There are also some changes in what the essential businesses are under the order. These are businesses that are allowed to continue to operate. Those of interest to us include grocery stores, gas stations, auto repair shops, banks, plumbers and other similar service providers, but only for limited purposes, shipping services, post offices, restaurants, but only for takeout and delivery, dry cleaners, and laundry services. The new order also adds some new essential business, such as real estate agencies, under strict rules about showing properties, and it significantly reduces the types of construction that can take place during the shelter-in-place period. Landscapers are now classified as an essential business, but there are limits on what they can do. We have talked to Landcare, and Landcare is back on the property today, but with limited operations. The definition of essential activities is also tightened in the new order. The order says that people may leave their residence only to engage in essential activities. But it also says that people at high risk, anybody over age 65, are now strongly urged to stay home. But people still can go to health-related facilities, to the grocery store, to the drugstore, to continue to go outside for walks. But now, if you go outside for walks, you must comply with the social distancing requirements. And there are also a number of new limitations on outdoor activities. These new restrictions include limited access to parks and beaches, the closing of outdoor facilities which have what the county has termed high-touch equipment, such as playgrounds and picnic areas, the closing of shared recreational facilities, such as golf courses, tennis courts, swimming pools, and spas. There's a lot more in the order, but that is a quick overview of it, and I tried to focus on those things that will impact our residents. We will continue to have updates and reports for you. We will probably use these recorded visits, such as the one we're doing now, in presentations on channel 998, because the quality of the picture and the sound is greatly improved over live broadcasts. and we also can broadcast them at scheduled times, so there should be a convenient time for everybody to watch the programs. Thank you, and please stay well.